No.
Hey, happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to the Dash Force News 3 Amigos podcast. With you, as always, is myself and Mark Mason. Say hi, Mark.
Hello.
There we go. And then Brian. Say hi, Brian.
Hey, now.
Or laugh. And this time with special guest, Raphael from Wirex. Say hi, Raphael.
Special guest. Hi, guys.
Yes, it's been a pretty incredible week. I'm sure I don't need to really elaborate too much, except for the Dash gods made it rain. That's all I can say.
Rain indeed. It's everywhere.
It's better than making it rain. It's been unbelievable. I've seen so many records broken in this past week alone. It's been like a dream. I've had to pinch myself to remind myself that it's real. I didn't think I'd see all of this action this year.
Yeah, I think Joel is extra happy because we've had a bad. I mean, you guys watching here, you're our core community. You follow our Twitter accounts. You know what we're all about already. So you've seen the hashtags, the Dash, and everything else. But me and Joel have had a bet going on for a while now about Dash going to 1,000. We didn't think it was going to happen this fast, but
yeah. I mean, and to be fair, it is not at 1,000 yet. However,
but it's getting there.
It
will do. It's
kind of had a
matter of time.
Yeah, I had a back of my head prediction that it was going to, like, ever since early or mid this year, that it was going to be 1,000 by the year's end. And then I started talking to Mark about that. It's like, no way, no, it's not going to do that fast. And so I was like, well, and so I made him like a bet, like it was like a couple pints of beer or something like that. But yeah. I modestly revised my prediction to end of March. And I don't know, go big or go home. All right. I think I think I could have made that one work anyway. Of course, the future is still ahead. Who knows? It might be like 849 by the end of the year or something like that. It might, or, you might, by the end of the weekend, it might be like, 1,200 or something. Who knows? You never know.
You guys
Somebody posted it.
So many awesome things happening. Like what I've seen recently, you've reached consensus on a 2 megabyte block update upgrade.
Yes, that was actually a question in the live chat before we started. Is what's DIP 001? Like, what is it? And the answer to that is it's an improvement to double the block size, right? So this is the funny thing. Since forever, Bitcoin started to become a little bit less scaling. People started to talk about, should we raise the block size? Well, should we this? And when all that debate started, before it was a like full-on war in the Bitcoin community. Before it was that, and it was a debate, like just a debate. Dash's founder Evan Duffield put a proposal to just ask a question before the masternodes. It was January of 2016. If the need arises, should we raise our block size to 2 megabytes? And just instant consensus, right like that. Oh, it was an overwhelming yes. Not completely unanimous, but an overwhelming yes. And then, cool. Now, whoop, that's done. No more fighting about that. And now, finally, a few days ago, DIP 0001, or Dash Improvement Proposal, has been locked in, which means somewhere around Monday or so, end of Monday maybe, Dash will now have 2 megabyte blocks. The fees will be reduced tenfold, and there will be some efficiency improvements to private send mixing. So, and a bunch of other small improvements. So, just on that alone, double the capacity, 10 times lower fees. Oh my goodness! Why does anyone use anything else?
I think we came to that consensus in like 24 to 48 hours. The Masternode network,
and it was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a while back.
But if any of you guys actually want to see the charts of how the dip came into the green to be ticked off, if you go to dashforcenews.com, the #1 source for Dash News online, we have a resources menu. And in that drop-down menu, there's an option called Masternode Stats. If you click on that, it actually shows you the dips and which ones have been activated. And it also has a chart that you can see where it actually passed the threshold to be activated. So it's actually lots of handy information on there. Go check that out.
Yeah, if you aren't reading Dash Force News in general, I think you should probably look at yourself in the mirror and give yourself a slap, because there's a lot of good stuff going on there.
Yeah, I did send an instant send transaction to Bitcart yesterday, last night, and it did charge the 0.01 or 0.001 for InstantSend. Now that may have been because I had private send funds only, even though I didn't tick the box. I still got the 0.001, and it's supposed to upgrade to 0.0001, which I did them as like 7 cents or something like that. Yeah. So I don't know why it didn't do that. I guess because I had the private send already mixed.
While we're on the subject, let's get Raphael involved. I'm so happy to be here. I'm sure many in the community already recognize Raphael from the Dash conference in London, where he was one of the keynote speakers and made that big announcement about Wirex, wirexapp.com. One of the questions that we had, and I think you might have mentioned it in your speech, was about actually integrating InstantSend into Wirex. Is that correct?
And was it private send as well?
Well, this is the hope. This is the dream at the moment. What we're 100% ready to do is we want to have full fat Dash wallets within the application to have all of those features enabled, both the instant send and the private send, and the potential as well to allow people to hold a Masternode as well within their hand, which would be the ultimate dream. I'm in talks with our development team, and we have set a date for the Dash wallet integration. I don't know if you want to do a drum roll for that, or when you want to have a big reveal. So they should be ready, and the implementation will be in the app by sort of February, first week of February next year. So not too long to wait. That's one of the fastest.
This is a wallet. So Wirex is an exchange. It's not just the card, it's an exchange. So is this the wallet going to be integrated into the exchange, or is this separate? Is this an application? How does this work?
It will. So the way it works on the application itself, you have your Bitcoin wallet, which you then transfer Bitcoin over to pounds, euros, or dollars. So the exchange happens in the app, and you have the pounds, euros, or dollars are stored on a prepaid debit card. And the way this is going to work is we're going to have another wallet. So you'll have a Bitcoin wallet and a Dash wallet, and you'll be able to sort of exchange Bitcoin for Dash or Dash for Bitcoin, and then both of them you'll be able to exchange for pounds, euros, or dollars from the go.
So let's talk about Wirex. Let's talk about the history of it, because there may be some people that are new to Dash that aren't familiar with you. Wirex has been around some time, right? So how long have you been involved with the company?
When it was still called eCoin.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, so we were well, in the UK, we were incorporated. Actually, it's our birthday. It's Wirex's birthday today. It's also my birthday today as well.
Oh, happy double birthday!
Did you have a Dash-tastic day?
Yes, Dash-tastic day indeed. So Wirex were incorporated.
Mark, you better get moving on that meme video for it. The joint birthday, both of them.
I've got my Dash t-shirt downstairs as well, and yeah, so Wirex were incorporated over 3 years ago. Well, it was in development over 3 years ago. Our official incorporated date is the 1st of December, 2014, or I think it was maybe even earlier. Don't quote me on this. I'm really bad with dates and times, but not the Dash wallet implementation, but
better not be.
So yeah, I mean, we started out as the first sort of mobile Bitcoin wallet paired with prepaid Visa debit cards, and sort of since then we've grown from strength to strength. We've had around the world, we've passed the 900,000 subscribers globally in over 130 different countries, and we've processed over $1 billion in transactions from Bitcoin back to pounds, euros, or dollars. We've also got the ability to buy Bitcoin within the application, and hopefully we'll also be able to buy Dash or exchange Bitcoin for Dash, and vice versa very soon as well, once the wallets are in full effect. And you know, once we love our community, and we have one of the fastest and hardest working dev teams out there. And we're not just limited to Bitcoin. So we've integrated with an exchange, which is Shapeshift. So you can deposit up to 50 different cryptocurrencies and have them instantly converted to Bitcoin, all on the mobile phone. And you can also buy Bitcoin on the mobile phone as well with a credit debit card. And people use it. Some people use it to hedge. So you know, you can switch between Bitcoin and fiat. So if you think you can play the dips, that's another option for you guys to do there as well. But you know, we're listening to what you guys are looking for and what you guys need, and I you know, I've an open line of communication with our dev team. Our dev team are they are the reason that we exist, essentially. Like, these guys work so hard and so fast. Like, for example, just in the lead up to this podcast, they were up until sort of 1 o'clock in the morning discussing how the implementation of Dash and up until sort of, you know, the meeting was postponed and then it carried on today. So you know, I was speaking with them, and they're currently working on 3 different integrations. 2 of them are well known, and there's a surprise one in there as well. So obviously it is the to give out new contactless debit cards, full fat debit cards. They're working on that integration as the priority, and then the next top priority is obviously the Dash wallet. The reason why obviously the contactless cards takes a slight priority is because since October the 15th, a lot of Bitcoin powered debit card companies have been limited to operation only in the EU because of some issues with card issuers and stuff. But because we've been around for so long, we've managed to foster a new relationship with a new card issuer that can issue debit cards globally again.
Wow, can I just stop you there? That's huge. So you've got a customer base of 900,000, so close to 1 million.
Yeah.
And you're going to issue contactless cards. I mean, I've been saying for a long time, 2018 is going to be all about the contactless cards. However, like, the first question I think everyone's probably screaming at the moment is that if you issue a contactless card, where they can spend it and how it can be accepted, right? So how are you going to overcome that obstacle?
You'll have both options, right? So, you know, with contactless cards, they'll still work as a normal debit card at
which is the tap and pay, right?
Yeah, which is chip and pin. So you will have to tap and pay. Will if the terminal is contactless enabled, if it's got a built-in NFC function, then it will literally be tap and pay as you would. Because I think that they're quite normal now in most European countries and in the US.
Yeah, not quite so much in the US. They seem to. I see it very rarely, actually. Chips are just now starting to become common.
Yeah.
Really?
It's just behind the times.
It's us Europeans. We're from the future. We said trendsetters.
Yeah. Now that's
so I can't remember the last time I've had to use a magnetic strip. So.
Oh yeah, we're way behind.
As recently as November, I've not only been around and seen used magnetic strip, but also putting the card in a piece of paper to like help it scan better when it wasn't reading. Like, all that just it's pretty funny because in the US now you see a lot of more modern point of sale systems like Square and little iPad based things with a teeny little reader or whatever, but they're, as far as like the older type systems, they're just incredibly antiquated. The whole contactless thing has not caught on in the US. It is used, but it hasn't caught on.
Yeah, I've seen it at the register and stuff, but yeah, I've only used a chip very rarely. That we use the chip. So, Raphael, I have a question about the Wirex card.
Go ahead first. Yeah.
So y'all take Bitcoin Direct right now. You're going to take Dash Direct, and then you take other alts through Shapeshift. Is that right?
Yeah, that's the thing. So Dash you can already spend your Dash with Wirex right now. It's integrated through Shapeshift. So you can, when you tap on the Bitcoin wallet within the application, you'll be there'll be an option to saying exchange. So you click on the exchange button and it will give you a long list of 50 different cryptos, and it has the 4 most popular at the top. And Dash is pride of position right there, I think, bang in the middle. So it's one of the most popular sort of cryptocurrencies that's currently exchanged for Bitcoin. And I think the main benefit of it is that it's instant, right? So there is obviously there is the Shapeshift exchange fee, but it's an instant conversion, right? So if you want to spend Dash on the fly,
there's still the Bitcoin transaction fee and the Bitcoin confirmation, unfortunately, right?
That's correct as well. Well, so we have pretty good Bitcoin wallets. So within the sort of Wirex the Wirex sort of sphere, the Wirex environment, you can actually send Bitcoin from person to person. It's almost instant and it's for free. But outside of the Wirex ecosystem, you can't, right? So in order to sort of exchange crypto with other people, we will need to have sort of Dash wallets. And then the other thing as well is private send is a huge feature, right? Because like I said back at the Dash conference, if you're paying your rent in crypto, and if you're paying your rent specifically in Bitcoin, you don't want your landlord to be able to see how much Bitcoin you have stored up in your wallet, because he can then, he can base your next rental contract based on that information he knows. So some of that information is important to keep secret. So that's why we think that Dash is an important feature to have, an important integration to have.
So a question in the live chat specifically about that is, does that mean Wirex to Wirex Bitcoin transfers are off chain?
No, they're not. So it's a bit more, it's complicated. We have three sort of we work with a mining pool to get them sort of confirmed instantly, near instantly. So there are 3 confirmations that happen on sort of chain, and we work with Jameson Lop and can't remember the name of the Bitcoin wallet, but
BitGo.
Yes, that's the one. BitGo
Yes.
wallet.
Has he made Bitcoin great again yet? Because he's been wearing that hat for a while. Just wondering if he'd made it happen.
I don't know. I respect his work and I respect his opinion. I think he's got really, really good intentions, at heart, and I really admire that about him. And he was constantly sort of he was making sure that there was no sort of nefarious underlinings with regards to the New York agreement and other things, and he was under a lot of pressure. So I've got to give that to Jameson. If he's watching and listening, I really respect him and his work. But yeah, I mean, this is the thing. So, but we do think that Dash is a much better contender, because the amount of contention and the amount of factions that exist within the Bitcoin community is just, it's
like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's tiring. It is tiring. You can't really be innovative with so much disagreement and lack of consensus. And I mean, like, anarchy, when has anarchy ever worked? Like, you need some sort of structure. You need to be able to innovate and bring new things to the table.
Well, you need peace at the very least.
Exactly. Peace at the very, very least. Not warring factions and Satoshi Light and Roger Ver at each other's throats, and everyone, it's crazy.
Yeah, all the Mad Max reenactments.
Yeah. So I mean, like, it's fun and games for now, but again, it's counterproductive, I think. And I think, like, a governance structure is very important, and that's why I think Dash is a really good way to go.
Well, that brings us to a good point. So just for a little backstory for everyone. So Raphael actually got in touch with me, I think it was last week, wasn't it? Just roughly over. Yeah. And we were talking about Wirex and the website, and Raphael kindly open to ideas, suggestions, just talking about everything, and was talking about the website, right? So there's going to be some kind of updates on the website to get Dash more prominently mentioned on the website, right? That's my understanding. Is that correct?
Absolutely. So I've put you in charge of sort of the head of marketing. So he's actually the head of that project with regards to like how you want the website to look, the feel of it, and he's kind of what he wants to do is get all of your feedback, all of the wants and what you would want to see on the website, and he's going to take that on board, and he'll, you know, you've basically got that connection now, so you can conversate with him. Gabriel is a lovely guy, and he's worked for Wirex longer than me, and like he understands marketing, and he understands the community as well. So you know, you now have that connection, Mark, and you are the webmaster as well yourself. So you know, you can work very closely, very closely with him, and you know, get a much more prominent feature. And this is the thing, right? So we're having a complete redesign of the entire website. It's going to look completely different to how it looks currently, and yeah, we want to get you guys a much more prominent feature on there as well.
Absolutely, because a lot of people were quite taken back by your announcement at the Dash conference in London, because a lot of people just see you as a card, but you're really a fully rounded solution. Because you're card, you're an exchange, you're trying to do the whole ecosystem. But where there are other cards and stuff as well, you're trying to integrate actually Dash's key features: InstantSend, private send, and a lot of people were quite surprised when you mentioned about the Dash dedicated wallet, but also potentially integrating Dash Central or voting and stuff as well. I mean, that's a big commitment to Dash. No one else is doing that. So you clearly see a bright future within Dash to devote that much development time and future seeking within Dash. So can you speak a little bit more on that?
Definitely. Like I've been following Dash for a long time, and I've been aware of the full sort of history and everything. And I mean, there was it's been growing from the very early days, the birth of cryptocurrency, where it was this extremely shady sort of environment, to today where it's very much streamlined. And it's, you know, like I bought Dash sort of I owned Dash for when it was around $4 to $6 when I kind of bought in. So like,
hopefully you didn't get rid of it.
No, I've still got it. I've still got the same Dash I bought for like under $10. I still got to this day. So I haven't sold it. I've been holding on to it. It is one of the bigger parts of my portfolio, and like, you know, I've watched it grow, and I've loved the technology behind it. I've really enjoyed the technology behind it. There were obviously like a bit of a few questions raised previously, but all of those things in comparison to other coins and other development strategies and stuff, Dash is really one of the best, really one of the best. Like, you can't get much more innovative than the solutions that the Dash team has come up with, and how they've moved from strength to strength. And I really enjoyed the conference in London, and like, you just look at it now. Last week was an unreal. Like, I could barely believe it. I saw Dash cross $800 on CoinMarketCap, and
814.
Yeah. So it was. I found it. I couldn't believe it was happening. Almost. I didn't see these sort of movements happening this year.
You couldn't believe the dashing in. It's just beginning.
This is the thing, right? This is the thing. We're hitting this sort of momentum now. Just imagine where 2018 is gonna take us. My predictions my predictions for next year came at the end of this year, which is crazy in itself, right?
I'm scared what Joel's going to try and bet for me for the end of 2018.
More importantly, I'm kind of scared for the memes that'll come out of Mark over the next year. So for anyone who has not seen, follow Mark Mason on Twitter, because he comes up with these crazy meme videos for the price going up, with a lot of weird air horns and memes and lot of Pepe Frogs and Wrecking Balls and Gangnam Styles and all this kind of stuff. They're very entertaining, but they're also like bizarre to the point of slightly disturbing. They're a little bit Kafkaesque. And so at some point, the higher the price goes, the more surreal those memes will become. So that'll be the good metric for how well Dash is doing, is how much of your mind you lose while looking at a Mark Mason meme. So just want to throw that out there.
I love my memes. My phone is full of them. So, I will be screenshotting or saving them to my device as they pop up. I'll be looking out for them, Mark. I'll hold you to that.
Yeah. Excellent. Fantastic.
Hey,
before we move on to other things, can I just contribute to my own experience as an actual Wirex customer?
Yes, of course.
Just so I can, I guess, paint a picture of what people could expect. So Wirex has an integrated wallet, and then you can use that to put, and I'm just talking about the whole Bitcoin only days, right? Just push that straight to your card, and then also you can do it the other way around and take it off the card and put it to Bitcoin. And so the actual loading of the card was basically instantaneous whenever I've tried it, like within like 10 or 20 seconds, just right there. So for people who want to live entirely off of cryptocurrency, or they want to have as much of their money in as possible because they know it's just going up, right? They can just have all their money in crypto, and then if they need some extra on their card when they're going in to go buy something from a restaurant, they just plug it right over, and then it works. Now, the perspective on having a Dash, dedicated Dash wallet here, it's basically sounds like it would allow anyone to just have a Dash Central experience to live all off of Dash, right? You got your Dash wallet. They can, again, we're assuming you guys managed to tackle all these issues, but you can do InstantSend, private send, whatever. It's just you got a Dash wallet. You can do your voting from it or whatever, Dash Central stuff. And then you just use it as a Dash wallet and then just throw it on your card when you need to spend it somewhere that doesn't take Dash directly. So it's basically like the all-in-one, one-stop solution for living your life 100% off Dash. Mark, cue the air horns.
No,
Anyway.
Absolutely. This is definitely where we'd like the end goal to be. February, we want to have the first step towards that, which is the Dash wallets themselves. And depending on, and I can't stress this enough, our dev team are absolutely amazing with regards to how quick they can churn out these sort of updates. Depending on sort of the amount of workload that they have, very much a Dash Central experience would very well be on the cards. I can't give an exact date for full implementation, but I can tell you that there should be Dash wallets within the Wirex application, so you can live solely off Dash as a one-stop solution in the first week of February.
Okay, I've got a question for you. So within the community right now, we have people using cards like 10x. Some people are a bit disappointed by the Charlie Shrem Pazer issue card, which is still in position. So I guess for the community, what's your special sauce? Why should people be using Wirex? Is there anything that you do better than anyone else? Or what do you feel makes you unique? Why should people use you and not someone else?
Well, first and foremost, we've been around the longest. There's a reason why 900,000 people globally use us over our competitors. We're also extremely competitive, and we've built the whole WPay network backend, which essentially connects 200 liquidity providers to the exchange, and they all bid on the crypto that comes in. So essentially, and it's over 130 different currencies that are used. And whichever rate is the best rate for the customer, that's the rate the customer gets. And it's an extremely innovative solution with regards to what I've seen in comparison to what's offered by other people. And it's a lot of other competitors are promising the hopes and dreams of something very, very similar, and even offering an ICO to do that. We've actually built it, off the bat without an ICO. And I think that is sort of a true example of a company that cares about the customers and the communities, not just why would you call yourself 10 times when you have an ICO out on the market? It raises a few questions. And we have that volume as well. We've managed to surpass $1 billion in transactions, and that in itself is a huge achievement and is a reason to sort of instill confidence. And we've also got we also have like other services, we have a support team that are always on hand in a bunch of different languages to help you guys. And we also have we're also implementing loads of different security solutions. So the application's got 2FA, you get Google Authenticator enabled as well. So it is a one-stop shop to keep your money as secure as possible. We want to be better than a bank. I mean, Jeff Berwick, for example, he's lived off Wirex. He actually uses Wirex to live off. And a shout out to Jeff. I went to interview him actually before, just after the Dash conference in the World Blockchain Forum. And it is a real innovative solution, and it is and I'm so proud to be working for a company like Wirex. And I've had my personal experience is that everybody I know has used Wirex as the solution for this specific reason, to sort of convert crypto on the fly to fiat. And I can't really fault that. That's kind of what sets us apart from our competitors, in the sense that instead of making the promises now and working out how to build them later, we work out how to build them first, and then and then provide them, and then sort of build the hype around it.
I had a question. What is y'all's fee structure? How do y'all's fees, all the different fees, work?
So there are a few sort of factors with regards to the fees. So number one is the integration with Shapeshift as the exchange. So they have their fees that are sort of on the back end, and then we also have the WPay network as well. So it's a live exchange, and it's a live fee, and you can see that on there. There is a sort of take that Wirex gets. It is extremely competitive. I don't have the figures off the top of my head at the moment, but I do know that they're there on the FAQs on the website. And I mean, if you want, I can send you guys the link regarding the fees there as well. But I do know that they're of the most competitive on the market. And I actually do, we actually do the research on a daily to weekly basis to see how we compare with regards to our competitors, to make sure that we're not far off. Because that's the thing, we want to be competitive. We want we've got a huge customer base, right? So even if there will always be liquidity, there will always be customers using the service, but to keep customers using the service, we need to make them happy, and we need to make sure that the fees are as competitive as possible.
Okay,
so it does change.
We've got a couple questions in the live chat actually regarding this. Joel, you're probably in the live chat. Would you like to take one and I'll take the other one?
Well, there was a fee question.
Yeah.
And then
okay. Yeah. So
the other one.
There was 130 different currencies. So that means the new app and hopefully the card will support more than just Euro, US dollar, and Great British Pound. Is that correct?
Watch this space. That's all I can say with regards to that. There is some good news on the horizon with regards to that. I can't say any more at the moment. But
when do you think there'll be an update for that then? The big announcement?
Who knows? Well, it is. There is a big announcement in the pipeline. Just we'll keep in touch, Mark. Okay. We'll keep in touch, and we'll you'll be the first to hear. When I can say it, you guys will be the first to hear.
You can update us. Well, we've had a couple more questions come in. So we had a follow-up one, which was, please confirm we can avoid Shapeshift fee by depositing Dash directly. I'm guessing this you'd have to wait for the Dash integration to be fully complete by then. But would that be the case?
That's correct.
Yeah.
That would definitely most likely be the case. You'd have to have the in-house Dash wallet to avoid sort of all fees.
And that's February time, correct? Roughly.
That's correct. First week of February.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the other question...
Just real quick, the last feed that I saw on Shapeshift, somebody was asking in the Masternode channel about it. We're talking about purse and shape-shifting, and I was looking at it. The fee just the other day was like $12 for the miner fee for Bitcoin and Shapeshift. Yeah.
It's not good.
So Dash Direct will be great.
Exactly. This is the reason why we've wanted this integration, and we're going to go for it, because at the end of the day, it makes life easier for the community and for the customers, and that's essentially what we want to do. We want to be that one-stop shop that you guys were mentioning earlier, and we want to offer that flexibility and functionality all sort of rolled into one. So if you had the choice, and if you wanted to live totally off of crypto, you have all of the tools in front of you to do that.
What are the limits? As far as, do y'all do the KYC, AML, all that stuff? What are the limits? How does that work?
Absolutely. So once the limits at the moment, there are limits. When we have the new contactless cards, those will be increased. But for that as well, all of our customers will have to be fully KYC and AML compliant. So this is the requirement that we've had to sort of adhere to with regards to getting these contactless Visa debit cards out. So I can't tell you at the moment what the limits are off the top of my head with regards to at the moment and in the future, but I do know in the future that they sort of will be more, will be better. But I can get the link to with regards
you have
to
the fee chart on your website, don't you? Specifically for the card and stuff, right?
Absolutely. It's all there. It all has to be there. And we haven't had much issue recently. There is one of the reasons as well there were limits is because we have a bunch of the private keys actually kept in sort of deep cold storage. There is another limit with regards to how much Bitcoin you can convert in a day, but it's really high. It's like if you're gonna buy a really expensive sports car type of deal. I think so. But
plenty of us might be trying to do at some point very soon after the recent weeks.
So this is the thing. So I mean, watch this space. We aim to make everybody happy. We aim to make everybody happy indeed. Ah, I see someone's got the fees up on screen.
These are the card fees right now. Can you see my screen okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the limits, I believe. See, I actually think this is actually a fantastic service, especially if you travel a lot, because with the online purchases and offline purchases, all free. But also, for me, the big winner here is the currency transaction fees. Whenever I travel for these conferences or whatever, I always get robbed on currency fees. So having this Dash solution and a card this way would be fantastic. Even just using the ATM withdrawal fee just one time, it's going to be a huge winner for me. In terms
the
of
other thing as well to bear in mind, Mark, is that you can load up the cards with fiat. So if you're still using a traditional bank account and you still got your traditional debit or credit card, you can load euros, pounds, or dollars with any credit or debit card. So if you're just using it for traveling and just like you said, and you want to save yourself a trip to an exchange, you can just do that all on your mobile phone instantly and have all your holiday money to go on a Visa debit card straight away.
Yes. So a lot of people are asking this, and I have sort of like the follow up on that is, Oh, first week of February for the US as well. Is it going to be US available the first week of February?
We'd love to. We'd love to. At the moment, we don't. We're unable to offer a service to US residents or citizens. But this is something that we are working on as a priority. But it is
the whole space suffering from this, right? It's not your choice.
Oh,
yeah.
It's not
restricted.
It isn't my choice at all. It's not something I can do. But again, like, it's something that we'd love to have, right? The US has one of the highest sort of crypto volumes in the world, and that's a really big thing. That's huge. So we want to get. Would love to take advantage of that. But there are, you know, I'm sure you guys have heard last week with Coinbase and the IRS and other things. So it's you know, we want to do it, but it's something that needs more work and more time and more.
So this is just on the card front, right? They can still use Wirex, but just not the card.
I'm not too sure. It's not a decision I can make.
Yeah. So the question being, what is the problem with the US and these cards? And let me rephrase it in a different way. If you have access to this information that you can answer, is why can Coinbase and BitPay, they're the only US debit card providers, US crypto debit card providers to my knowledge. Why can they do it and you guys can't? What's the difference between that?
Oh, I mean, it's a really good question. I'm not too sure. I think it's because
there's loads of guidelines. I heard somewhere that for the US, you need to have a live current call support team and just loads of all sorts of things. But I think it's a similar issue with Pazer, not to mention too much issues, but with your financial people that you're connected with, they restrict you, which is why I was quite surprised about a few weeks ago, we had Jeff on talking about the whole Charlie Shrem drama, and basically Pazer can't mention, you know, Dash at all, like on the website, because it gets them in trouble, which is why I was quite happy to hear, like, you're happy to do this. But it just seems one of these issues, why we're dependent on Visa and MasterCard. We kind of got our hands tied together, essentially, and we have to play by their rules. And yeah, it just, this is why I was interested when you, at the beginning of the podcast, when you mentioned contactless payless cards, because the first thing I think of is Festi, and this is why I was thinking like 2018, because we need to get away from Visa, MasterCard, but I understand why we need to use it at the moment. It's that intermediary middle term thing, right?
That's correct. It's to connect the sort of legacy technology to the future technology. And, you know, the Visa and MasterCard network is a tried and tested one. It's been around for a few decades. And it's a good way to get people into crypto. And that's one of the champions of Wirex, is, you know, it allows people to live in the current ecosystem, but use future technologies. And if you can tell people that you bought, you know, if you can take someone to the shops and buy them a pair of shoes with it, and tell them, look, this is being bought with crypto. There is value to this. This is not just magic internet money. There is it is applicable in real life, to the point that even sort of Jeff Berwick was able to pay his employees with crypto, and they were able to use Wirex to live their day-to-day lives. It adds so much confidence. It is very much confidence inspiring. And the network there's 45 million points of sale. There's 45 million terminals that allow you to either withdraw cash or spend at a merchant. And, you know, they handle in the hundreds of thousands of transactions per day. Obviously, that does come with, you know, that sort of network does come with a few caveats and a few sort of things to, you know, and one of the main reasons that they stay with absolute affirmity is because it's to keep customers safe. It's to keep everybody safe. And it's also to make sure that funds aren't distributed illegitimately or used for nefarious reasons. And you know,
how can we overcome this problem though? Because I'm sure your devs. I mean, this is the conversation everyone's having, and it's the same
Smash
issue
the
with
state.
these cards, because these cards are fantastic, but we've got to be realistic. Businesses have to start accepting them. So basically, if businesses have the potential to accept these cards, then by you exchange, if you can buy, you can buy Dash on your exchange as well, right? It's not just Shapeshift, correct?
Well, this is what we're hoping to implement as well. As soon as we have the Dash wallets integrated, that would be one of the next sort of feature updates.
So,
so let me point this out, since it wasn't very, I'm not sure if it stuck out, but one of the holy grails of mass adoption is, can you buy it easily with a credit card? Now, it seems like that the answer is going to be yes for Wirex. Unfortunately, maybe not for US people, but there's a whole big world that isn't America. So for everyone else, there's Wirex, right? Everyone else can just say, oh, how do I get into Dash? I'll just get this Wirex app. And there you go. You can just buy with credit card. Now you have some. Now, if you can't find a place to spend it directly, you have the card and beep, and there you go.
All you need now is a merchant solution, right, Raphael?
Absolutely.
Maybe.
Absolutely. I mean, a merchant solution would be awesome. Would be really, really awesome.
Then you'd be the fully rounded solution that Dash so desperately needs right now.
Yeah. That's correct. That's correct. I mean, this is all sort of feedback that we'll definitely take on board. And you know, all I can say with regards to that at the moment is, you know, watch this space. I'll be in very, very close contact with you, Mark, with any sort of future updates that we have. And what I can say at this point is that there are definitely good things on the horizon. Really, really exciting good things on the horizon.
So we know you've taken the Dash Kool-Aid, because I've seen you. I saw you in London, right? And I know you're fully aboard the Dash Express. We spoke about the 2 megabyte upgrade earlier within Dash. So Dash can potentially do up to 48 transactions per second, while Bitcoin has about 7 transactions per second. So already people are starting to wake up and see this from the utility of using it. And it's that practicality purpose now, because where you want to be a fully rounded solution, where you want people purchasing it, using it, spending it, not just sitting on it, you need to, everyone understands this now, and people are waking up to it. Because if you keep watching the coin market cap every day, I think a lot of people, especially in this last week, are jumping into Bitcoin, and some of those people there now are starting to get a bit frustrated with what's going on. And they saw the sea of red last week, where Dash was standing strong like a juggernaut.
Yeah, I witnessed that as well.
Yeah. And so it's all to play for, and it's really good to hear that Wirex is on board. So we know that you're on board. You're the community manager. So just break it down, actually, for people that don't know. So the community manager, what is it that you actually do in Wirex?
Well, I pretty much kind of I go out there and I kind of educate others on crypto, Bitcoin, Wirex. I want to help sort of mass adoption. I want to break down the sort of objections that people have with regards to getting into crypto. And I mean, that's essentially what Wirex was to begin with. I mean, we've got Pavel and Dmitry, who started the company back 3 years ago, and that was their vision, right? To break down the barriers and to make this globally accessible.
Do those two still man the Twitter account sometimes, or they stopped doing that? I've spoken with them a couple times on direct message.
Yeah. I mean, they used to. That now they're really busy, right? They're really busy with regards to speaking with our new sort of partners, our card issuing partners. They're in, SBI Bank has taken a really big shine to them, and they've helped to launch Wirex Asia. We've also got a new CEO, Wataru Kojima, who's got his own sort of Bloomberg profile, and he's got a wealth of experience with regards to sort of finance and banking, and he wants to get into the crypto space, and he thinks that this is the future of technology and banking as well. And it's really sort of exciting. It's really sort of exciting.
Are you in South Korea by any chance? As that's where most of our trading volume comes from at the moment. Because what we were talking about Visa, MasterCard before, and we've seen other issues with other companies, but they've been really pushed into just the European area. But you mentioned, I think, 136 countries and currencies and all that stuff. So if you're in the Asian markets and stuff as well, you're not just restricted to Europe. So I think that's an important distinction to make. Is that correct?
Absolutely. The thing is, the Asian market has its own limitations and restrictions. And we've only recently, in the last sort of couple of months, we've opened the office in not only in the UK but also in Japan, in Tokyo, so that there's that base of operations there as well. And Wirex Asia is working on breaking down those barriers to getting Wirex out there in the Asian market. And like you said, you know, the amount of volumes that come through in South Korea and Japan are, you know, they challenge the top spot every now and again. And you know, the price alone tells it. I think, you know, you buy a premium if you buy or in Korea sometimes. I think it was $40 to $80 higher than the global average for the majority of and that was even after they'd come out with new regulations. So even the government regulations on talking about ICOs, that it didn't put much of a damper on sort of their appetite for crypto.
Yeah, Korea right now is 838 per Dash. So yeah, and everybody else is like 785. So yeah, there's quite the
basically
premium.
what Wirex's plan is to scale now. So although unfortunately the situation in America is not great, but that's not your own, it's not a self-made problem. It's just a problem you've had to deal with that everyone else is facing. However, you can look towards Southeast Asia and continue to push and drive. So you have 900,000 now. So is your future forecasting for 2018, you're going to try and double that number? You're going to try and bring on more users for Dash? Is that the plan?
The plan is maybe even 10 times that number. So, you know, we're currently at $1 billion in successful conversions. We want that to be $10 billion by the end of next year. So we want to scale. We want to scale fast. We're not into this whole BIP and New York agreement, you know, long haul process, you know, sluggish, dragging your knuckles along the floor type thing. We want to be more streamlined and more like Dash, and we want to have dips instead of bips, and have those consensus and those scaling agreements reached fast.
Direct democracy, giving people the freedom to be able to spend and buy what they want without being dictated to, right?
Absolutely. And, you know, like with crypto, there's 1,800 cryptos all sort of competing with different technologies and different use cases. We are experiencing very similar things here at Wirex. We've got a lot of competitors that are constantly trying to innovate, and are you know, the best form of flattery is imitation at the end of the day. And, you know, we were the first to market, and we also want to be the most innovative. We don't want to be sort of stuck in the dark ages. We want to build a solution that everybody wants to see.
I'm excited about the card. It sounds excellent. I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate about America, but we actually had a partner meeting just within Dashforce the other week, and we were talking about perhaps getting a Wirex card so we could do the advertising for Dashforce, because as we get paid by the blockchain, we could allocate Dash to that, and then we can, because with most advertising on social media platforms, you have to link up a debit card to that. So we needed a solution for that. So maybe Wirex, maybe that for us. So hopefully, fingers crossed, so February time, you'll have the wallet as well. Okay, and then we can get that sorted. Is there any other announcements that we've missed out on? Or so, although people are waiting for February for the wallet integration, in terms of updates and announcements, will there be anything coming before that? Because you have a blog on your website as well, don't you, that you do updates on?
There is one exciting announcement. I can't give any details that might come beforehand. That's all I can say with regards to that. And it's all I can say is it's an extremely exciting development, and it touches on a lot of the stuff that you wanted to see earlier as well, Mark. So just watch the space.
We think 2 weeks update.
Well, pretend I haven't said anything. That's because I think I don't want to cross any lines. Otherwise,
don't make me come to London.
Well, this is the thing, right? You can get full fat Wirex stuff right now. So you can use those cards, and although it's not it won't be as streamlined as it will be in February, you can still spend that Dash with Wirex. But we want to get you full functionality in February, but there are a few other things. The main one being the contactless Visa debit cards. The other thing that's worth mentioning as well is that those we're also working on getting those working with Google Pay and Apple Pay. So within the application, you can actually sort of order two different,
because I thought they were completely against crypto. So people that are already using, like I've got Android Pay on my phone.
Yeah.
And so for those that aren't familiar, you can add your card to Android Pay, right? To use NFC to use in the shops, right? But like, I'm a bit bewildered by that, perplexed. They would actually allow you to do that.
This is what we're trying to do, right? This is what we're trying to do. We're working really, really hard. It's just whispers at the moment, right? But this is one of the things that we'd really love to see and love to have. Because the thing is, you can order 2 different types of card on the application right now. You can order a virtual card, which allows you to buy and spend online, just entering the details as you would, or you can order the physical card. If you had a virtual contactless card, you could get that instantly. There's no waiting for delivery and stuff. So there's loads of advantages and loads of benefits that would bring us as a platform. And most people have an Android or iPhone with NFC enabled. So
yeah, 2FA as well. It's actually a lot more secure.
Exactly.
You lose your phone, shut it down. You can get Google Authenticator or the Authy app, and then
touch ID and all of that. So this is one of the conversations that is being had. So fingers crossed. I can't guarantee or promise anything, but I'm sure you guys would love to see that. So
yeah, I'm kind of like half and half. One says, well, that's great in terms of accessibility for people, but at the same time I'm thinking, well, if Apple Pay and Android Pay would allow you to do that, then surely they're going to want something in return, so it's another fee. So as long as that fee would be passed on to you and not me, the customer, I'm cool with it. but that's where my head's at right now.
No, I'm not sure how the intrinsics of it or how it works, but yeah, I do know that is something that we have definitely discussed with the product development team and so forth, and so far they haven't said no, it can't be done. So that's definitely that's all I can really say with regards to that.
Yeah, I mean that must be the frustrating thing for you, Raphael, at Wirex, because if every merchant or business actually had the functionality to accept NFC payments from Dash wallets, even just our literally Dash wallet stuff, then that would be such a big hurdle and obstacle overcome for you, because then you can focus on signing people up to the exchange, getting people to be able to buy Dash on your platform, have a Dash wallet, and then being able to spend it as well. And then we won't have to worry about Visa and MasterCard anymore. It's just, how do you get to that stage of getting all those business merchants being able to do that? And that's where I'm at right now. That's the biggest hurdle. We're in the adoption phase now, business adoption. It's whoever can do that first.
Mark, no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I mean, if I go to my local shop right now and try and say, here, I've got some Dashes worth $800, take it. It's just gonna look at me funny. It's gonna be like, what do you want me to do with this? But if I give him a debit card loaded with powered by crypto, it's a different story. He'll take that every day of the week. And there is going to be a transition phase, right? It's not going to be an overnight switch completely overnight. People need to grow to warm up to this thing. It's like the internet, right? Email proved the concept. Email proved that you could have the internet. The first email was sent back in 1971. The first website was created by a British person, Tim Berners-Lee, in 1989, right? Nearly 20 years from proof of concept to actual functionality. And then even in 1989, the websites that you had were absolute, like, they were basically for academics to share journals and share research materials with each other around the world. And then sort of porn got involved and gambling got involved, and then and then
as is their want.
Yeah. Exactly. So I mean, we're at the email phase of cryptocurrency, in my opinion. We're still sort of cryptocurrency is the proof of concept of this technology.
Are you saying Dash is the broadband to Bitcoin's fax machine?
That's a good analogy. I wasn't saying that exactly, but that's a good analogy. Bitcoin is a 56K modem, and Dash is the ADSL
internet
line.
Money, right?
That's right. And then I think Dash will probably be the first to implement kind of Wi-Fi solution as well, right?
We're the only cryptocurrency that I'm aware of that has a roadmap to 400 megabyte blocks to be able to compete with Visa and MasterCard. So
also interesting is it's one of those, I mean, I'm sure everyone has these, like, every coin has a little bit of hype going on, and Dash tends to be understated with hype. At least it was until like last couple months. It's kind of hard to be like fundamentals. At some point you got to be like, woo. But right now in the Dash Nation Discord channel, there's a special channel called Dash 10,000 Party, where people are all busy planning on the party when Dash gets to $10,000 for a single coin. And it's not like, haha, I would buy so many Lambos if. It's just like, it's planning. It's like serious planning. They're all talking about where they're going to go on vacation stuff, and then they were trying to predict the date. But it's like an inevitability. No one doesn't think it's getting to 10,000. And that's kind of it's a very weird sort of confidence that you don't really see. I mean, sometimes with Bitcoin, you see people saying like, oh, million, will it get to this? When will it get to that? A little bit of that stuff, but Bitcoin's a much more proven thing. Other coins are just like, we getting 100 yet? Yay. What if we get like a little more? But with Dash, it's just like, that's the one thing I notice is socially, Dash is a little bit of the black sheep of the crypto world. Everyone else, all the other coins are the cool coins. Oh, it's my Litecoin. Oh, what about this? This new smart contract coin here or there. Everyone kind of likes that, and then no one really takes to Dash. Dash is too practical. And one thing I've noticed, I mean, there's obviously plenty of reasons for that. The one thing I've noticed is every single coin seems to give deference to Bitcoin. Not deference to the path that Bitcoin laid out, but deference to Bitcoin as the permanent number one of the pack. Like you have people like Charlie Lee and Fluffy Pony and stuff who have their own projects to look towards, but they're sort of fighting Bitcoin Core's battles for them in this bizarre sort of way. And I think one thing that people kind of think that Dash is a wee bit cheeky for basically just thinking that Dash is going to dominate the world someday. And just like, who cares about all the other coins? Dash is number one. Like, at the end of the day, it's a little bit of a bizarre, different mindset from the other coins that are kind of the Bitcoin first mentality.
I agree with that to an extent. I love everything that Dash is doing with regards to sort of mass adoption. I think is really, really helping. Like, no other coin has managed to get sort of on international television and has sponsored a TV show. That's huge in its own right, let alone the other projects that Dash is doing. Sort of, I've seen on sort of Dash Force News website recently, the Dash in Nigeria project and stuff like that. And I think that is a huge, that is, in my opinion, where crypto is really going to take off in sort of countries where there are
you saying Dash is a payment solution for the world, for everyone?
it could be, right? It's technology. The technology behind it would be able to support that. I mean, like, people will look at me now saying that and laugh at me, but at the same time,
it's true. Well, Joel will tell you better than anyone. Even the Bitcoin core devs say that they're not a solution for that because of the fees, and they've got no intention of doing it.
Yeah, very few do. Part of it is because a lot of it is like first world tech speculation. Just like, oh, well, let's just play around with our tech. It's not what is it for? What does it accomplish for humanity? And a lot of it is also price speculation, like who are the rich kids playing with to try to get even richer. But I mean, right now, so for one thing, I was at the Texas Bitcoin conference at the end of October, and it was about 400 people there, 400 attendees. At the same time, like about a week prior, there was a Dash conference in Venezuela with 350 people, right? Just as large, like a major conference there. There's a Dash team in Morocco right now. There's, in addition to the Dash Nigeria thing, there's a second Dash Nigerian outreach project that's specifically targeting military members. There's at least a couple different ones around Ghana, including the Dash Direct program, which is a direct giving to some of the most extreme poor families there, gives them a basic income in Dash that then they can spend to buy basic goods at a storefront there. There's the Dash Leopards soccer team or football, right, in South Africa that's just Dash branded and is raised to get more young kids into sports. There's the Kuva Cash project in Zimbabwe, which is providing an easy cash to Dash payment gateway for people who, let's be honest, really need sound money. And I'm sure there's some, don't be offended if I forgot anyone in Africa, but just Africa and Venezuela alone is, oh my goodness, it's just booming with Dash.
Absolutely. This is the thing, right? There are 4 billion people currently in the world that don't have access to banking services and financial services. In the worst case scenarios, these people are turned away by the security guard at the door. They're not even allowed to go and speak to the teller.
It's like half the world's adults, that is, that are unbanked, don't have bank accounts. So we need to. So this is why people got so excited when that white paper came out. It was meant to be the money revolution, right? It was meant to be helping people, bringing financial freedom to the world. What happened, Bitcoin? What happened? You got too many paper pushes come in, hijack the project. We're here to bring it back and change the world bit by bit with Dash Digital Cash. You don't need Bitcoin Cash. You need Bitcoin Dash. We're the reason Bitcoin for. We made it better. They stayed in 2009. It's 2017. Get with the times, people. Wakey, wakey.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you need to make more memes.
Memes are very powerful. Memes are very, very powerful, right?
Speaking of powerful and memes together, a few days ago, so Raphael, do you know much about Dash's founder, Evan Duffield?
Yes, I followed him. I met him, actually.
Yeah. Well, there you go. You kind of know he's a very smart, very kind of spacey, almost multiversal being. He does kind of come and go as he pleases in odd ways that are sometimes difficult to track. And sometimes he just, like, sometimes I check up on his Reddit account, of which he has 3 because he keeps forgetting his password. But his latest Reddit account, anyway, he was off for like 4 months, not a single comment. And then his first, like his inaugural comment back from his break was in some random Bitcoin thread saying about a 1 second of Super Bowl airtime is worth $167,000. And so if everyone in this sub pitched in $1, we could have 2 seconds of airtime that just said buy Bitcoin. And he just randomly comments there, no introduction, just Dash can afford this. It's just, and that has become meme legend now, not only because it's just such a random thing to say and it's so quotable, but it also shows the power of Dash could afford a 30-second Super Bowl ad every month, right? This is where we're at right now. And basically brace yourselves for memes of Evan Duffield doing something.
It's programmed into it. It's programmed into it. Which is
so brace yourselves for the memes of Evan pointing at random objects like small countries, like pointing at Switzerland saying Dash can afford this, or pointing at the solar system. It's gonna get pretty crazy up in here is what I'm saying.
Indeed. No, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really, really excited. And it's a good place to be. I think Dash is one of the sneakiest and most beautiful cryptos to watch, right? You've had an unbelievable week, and well, to be honest, it's been like you could make a movie on sort of Dash's come up, and it's been a really cool one to watch. And technology wise, there's not much that compete with it. And you know, like I said earlier, with the best form of flattery is imitation. How many cryptocurrencies have Masternode networks now?
Several, yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, why people come to me and they say, "Oh, you can get it now. They've got Masternode." It's like, why would you do that? Why would you go to the imitators? Stick to the innovators, right?
Yeah,
you exactly. Want to otherwise, what happens when they run into a problem? They're going to look up to us. I want people making change, right? I don't want to follow the sheep. I want to follow the person leading them, right? You know, who's developing, who's pioneering, who's actually innovating, creating these solutions. I don't want to go to the imitators.
Absolutely.
There's this phrase this nickname I use. This happened first with PivX, when PivX was really first burst briefly into the top 10 and all that kind of stuff. And then there have been so many other ones that are cheap Masternode coins. They're all Masternode coins that are like, well, you can get a Masternode for a few $1,000s and then you'll be set for life if the price goes to where Dash is, right? And so I always call those FOMO coins, or fear of missing out. Like, people they missed out on on buying like a $7,000 Masternode or whatever, and just never having to work again. And they missed on that, and they're trying to catch the next train rather than just getting in on Dash right now, because there's still there's still so much upside. Cryptocurrency is a drop in the bucket in the global financial system right now, and Dash is like barely 2% of the crypto market caps right now at its impressive rates. There's a lot of upside on this.
The dashing in has just begun. Hashtag the dashing in. Hashtag dash to 1,000. This is only the beginning.
Hashtag
6 billion market cap. Come on, 100 billion market
hashtag
cap.
Dash branded hot tub. Whatever. Stop now.
I want to join the Dash to 10,000 group as well. I want to see what people are looking to spend on when Dash hits 10K.
We'll get you into the Discord channel, and there's one there, the Dash to 10,000, and there's the ladies are already getting crazy in there.
Excellent.
Speaking of crazy, someone's getting a Dash tattoo tonight. So Ken Bozak, he's got a popular YouTube channel. So 8 p.m. EST live on YouTube, he's getting a Dash tattoo. So if you go to the
is it somewhere that the is it somewhere relatively safe so the children can tune in to watch, or is it like an after hours location?
I believe it's in New Jersey.
Okay, well, that's kind of a rough place anyway. So never mind. I won't be tuning in then. You changed my mind.
But I believe he's giving out free Dash paper wallets and stuff as well. And there's, I believe, a free Dash tattoo to someone else as well that's attending. If you follow at Dash Force News, no spaces on Twitter, I will retweet his tweet, which will have a link to the YouTube video where you can watch him get the tattoo live. I'm sure people are going to turn up. Go check that out. And also the Discord channel that Joel just mentioned, dashchat.org. And then you get the invite. You're welcome.
Yeah,
welcome.
Great place.
Welcome
and
to
in fact,
the Dashing In.
Yes, in fact, we do have an after party sometimes.
Is there any more questions in the chat there?
Right.
Let me take a little look.
How much money in the world? Well, I mean, like, our market cap 6 billion. What is Bitcoin right now? Was it like 150 billion market cap or something crazy?
Yeah. It's over 100 billion. That's I haven't.
The thing is,
we've got so far to go. Do you know how much money Bill Gates has got? Warren Buffett. These are just individuals. How much money has Google got? How much money has Apple got? Look at the Forex. What is it, like 7 trillion market a day? Like, we're a needle in a haystack. Yeah, we've got the best payment solution out there. It's just the beginning. People are just waking up to this.
Like, do you know what I hate when people call it a bubble, and I hear that every now and again. This is a bubble, and if you compare it to the last tech bubble, the .com bubble, there are over 10,000 different internet companies, and the entire market cap of all of those internet companies in the early 2000s was $1.3 trillion, right? In today's money, that's more like 2.5 trillion. So we're at
so we've already seen BlackBerry, we've already seen MySpace with Bitcoin. Now come over to Facebook and Google with Dash, and you're going to be sorted with the future.
Exactly. And now those top 5 tech companies are worth the 1.3 trillion that it was when it burst. So this is the thing.
So we just saw a lot of shit corps go and disappear, just like there's going to be a lot of shit coins that are going to go away too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Essentially, Bitcoin is Netscape. So we're talking about the internet of money. Netscape, AOL, they were the first people to do it. But it's the technology, it's the solution, the utility that has value, not the labels, people. Wakey, wakey, smell the coffee.
Yeah, it's so funny because I remember the first great age of shitcoins when people started to realize that they could just copy the Bitcoin code base and crank out a new novelty thing, and Litecoin being the first great shitcoin, and then adding on to Dogecoin. I'm sorry if I'm talking too much smack here, but it's funny.
I still like Doge, man. I still like Doge.
One of my friends who actually, who's a big Dash fan and holder, he got into Doge early in a big way, and he just loved it so much. And when the Doge had this recent price jump, remember a couple months ago or so, it went way up. He was like, "Oh, my Doge is doing really well. My Doge is doing well." He says, "I got enough Doge to buy a house now." And I'm like, "Oh my goodness, how do you have enough Doge to buy a house?" Speaking of which, wow.
Oh,
got my Doge pillow right here.
Pillow, much soft.
Raised a good point about like marketing and stuff earlier, because we're in a different generation now, and I think a lot of people are still based in that legacy media. Kids like our age and younger, they don't watch TV anymore. You can't do like a generic old commercial stuff. That doesn't work anymore. We've moved on. Look at the recent presidential run in America. I say recent, it's been a year or so now, but I mean that was basically the meme wars. It was all social media, right? So you have to adapt to everything now. You can't roll with that.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that was like the first presidential election where the internet played like the most pivotal role, almost. I think if the internet didn't exist, we might have a completely different result altogether. I think the internet was one of the things that changed it. It just changed the way people communicate and share information and watch the news.
Essentially, in an age of information, ignorance is a choice, right? So basically, we've got the information out there. If you're still holding fiat paper money and you haven't got involved by Dash by now, you need to wake up, because ignorance is the greatest tool of oppression. So go to dashforcenews.com, go to the Dash School or the Dash 101 resource section, learn about it. If you want to know what a blockchain is, if it's new, scary, for your mum, for your granny, for everyone, it's easy. We've got Amanda B. Johnson breaks it down, the Dash School video series, and even the first 3 videos don't necessarily apply to Dash. It's blockchain in general. What is a blockchain? How can blockchain be used as money? Friends, family, it's coming up to Christmas. If you're getting I should say happy holidays. Sorry, don't want to upset anyone. But I mean, like cards, paper wallets in there, Dash, send them out, baby. Get them out there. Start the conversation. This is the money revolution. We're making monetary history be part of history, be on the right side of history.
Oh, Mark, you get me all excited. Oh, gosh, you're getting me all excited. Kind of want to jump up and down. It's true. No, this is right. This is like, we're at the same sort of stage back in in the early 90s, where people were writing off the internet and writing obituaries for personal computers. This is the same sort of thing. We cryptocurrencies get obituaries written for them, all the time. But it's going to be a case like it's going to be the case. I remember back when the first sort of PDAs came out, and my dad bought one. and I used to steal it off him all the time, and I was absolutely infatuated with it. I was very young, but I loved it, and I loved everything it could do. And people used to kind of mock me and my dad for being kind of so into it. And I was like, you know, one day, you know, all of you guys will realize how important this is and how useful a tool it will be for your day-to-day life. Fast forward a decade from that period, everybody's on iPhones. Everybody's on basically the descendant of the PDA, which is the smartphone. And that's the thing. This technology, it will be ridiculed at first, but when people feel the value and see the value in real life, that's when we're going to get that mass adoption, that curve to the top.
That's what I'm saying. Dash evolution. It's just going to come along. Even right now, if you're a merchant and you're paying 3% fees for accepting Visa, MasterCard, 4% for American Express, you're looking at Dash. You're talking about sub-cent fees, people. And if you own a business, you get to the end of the month and you do the tally or those numbers, that adds up. That's a lot of cheddar. That's a lot of paper. That's a lot of green. That's a lot of potentially Dash, right? So you need to, people need to be waking up to this. So, yeah.
I'm down. I'm completely down. And this is the thing as well. Like, Dash is at the forefront of these sort of technological evolutions. Dash fixes all of the issues that the main media baby at the moment has, which is, you know, Bitcoin. So
once we have that business POS solution, that business adoption solution, you know, really, really good and sorted out, get all of our ducks lined in a row, it's going to be like dominoes, baby, and I'm going to love it. And I'm going to be at the front, like, watch it, and I'm going to be there, and you're going to be there. I'm going to be in my X-wing. You guys are going to be there, and we're going to be going up to the central bank in Death Star, and I'm going to be like, oh no, and they're going to be there, printing press. They're going to be there, and we're going to blow it up, and there's going to be fit.
All my house renovations will be finished.
Which, by the way, speaking of the Dash 10,000 party thing, that might be a good thing to sort of plan ahead for January 1st or December 31st, January 1st, 2019. That's when it hits 10,000, right? Plan for it. Plan an actual party where you get as many Dash fans as possible into Times Square in New York City, and just all the Dash swag, all the Dash signs, and just count down instead of, you know, just woo, Dash, digital cash, 10,000, baby.
Are we going to have those like random, like, you remember those viral videos on YouTube, and they had those viral like dance parties? They just turn up in like shopping malls, just doing like random things. They're gonna have like random like Dash gatherings in like places happening all around the world, like Dash gathering, London, or, you know, London Times Square, and then it's like all of a sudden like 1,000 people wearing Dash t-shirts get together and start doing the Dashbots. Whoa, it's a Dashbot, and then
I'll dress in like the white t-shirt with the unbuttoned Hawaiian shirt like Evan likes to wear, just like all in the Evan costume. And I don't know. We'll figure something out.
I can't wait.
Right. Guys, I think we should probably wrap up. We've gone a bit over schedule as usual. Raphael, thank you so much for coming on. You've been a fantastic guest.
Yes, it was a blast.
Now, you have to come back on again, especially when you got your update. I'm going to hold you to that. So much to look forward to. Brian, is there anything you'd like to say? Or you good?
I'm good.
You good? Joel, you good?
I'm more than good.
He's better than good. I'm good. I'm feeling Dash-tastic. You've seen the price this week. It's just the beginning. Like, what's next week going to bring? Amazing stuff, people.
$800. Over $800.
I know. It just doesn't stop. What amazing year 2017 is. What's 2018 going to be like? Amazing stuff. This has been episode 28 of the Dash Force Free Amigos podcast, funded by Dash Force News, by blockchain, by Dash, the #1 source, Dash News Online. Make sure you go check it out. Please like, subscribe to our channel. We want to grow. We want to get that message out there. We feel we're doing great content. If you want to see someone on the show from Dash strategic partner, or perhaps a proposal owner that you'd like to see as a guest, or perhaps a dev core team member that we haven't featured on the show yet, comment below. We'll try and make it work. We're here to serve you. We'll now do an after party in Discord, dashchat.org, if you want to join. That is the main Dash community. we're at Dash Force News. If you're interested in watching the live Dash Tattoo later on, 8 p.m. EST time, and I will tweet that out.
For those who are a little bit squeamish, unfortunately, will be in New Jersey.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's in New Jersey. It's either that or New York. It's one of the two. They're pretty close.
Yeah.
So
I guess it applies still.
Yeah, I'll tweet that on at Dash Force News. No spaces on Twitter. No excuses, people. And yeah.
Oh, there's your alarm there, Brian.
BitCart. Yeah, it's BitCart.
Oh, it's another Amazon package.
That's BitCart.
Yep.
Thanks,
Thank you, Graham.
Thank you.
Cool.
I'll see you guys on the Discord.
Yes. So,
Excellent.
Raphael,
For sure.
before we wrap up, as this is going to be recorded and go out on YouTube and stuff, so where can people follow you?
They can follow me on my Twitter handle. I don't use it as much as I used to, but that's at Raphael Shalaby. Or you can add me on Facebook or follow me on Facebook as well. But the main one is
wirexapp.com, right?
Yes.
And that's the same for Twitter as well, right? At Wirex App.
That's correct. At Wirex App, yeah. And Wirex Facebook as well. And you'll see me all over there. So get in touch. I check them often. And we've also got a community.wirexapp.com as well. So if you want to check that out too, that's open to everyone as well.
Excellent. So if you go to many conferences, you'll see Raphael about. He's always doing presentations. He's always out and about. We hope to make him a regular on the show and hope he's going to come back and update us with exciting stuff. He's definitely taken the Dash Kool-Aid. I think we're going to make him an honorary member soon. So
this has been a blast. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you guys. It's been an absolute pleasure for me.
Of course. Now remember, Dash is currently at a 6.2 billion market cap, over $800 US dollars per coin. And apologies, the BitCart is full. So if you want to use BitCart, try again tomorrow. As always, have a good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next week.
And with that, stay dashy, folks.
Bye-bye.